I quite like these little things that you won't hear elsewhere. Probably never hear them again, but they are a joy to behold. And for all the flack that YouTube takes, particularly from people like me, it is a place to find hidden talent, and that is one of the songs coming out of composers listed on YouTube. And God bless them for exposing people like that. God bless them for exposing people like us. Right, I've just had a little rant about Yanovan. Let's come back home for a moment or two, because the life is beginning to stir again in Lewis. One of the things that really disturbed me, and I keep on about it, is the speed at which people are driving. They've been so used to driving in the open roads, and the police having their duties taken up with other things have not particularly taken them up with speeding, and now they find they can't slow down, and I'm just waiting for the first death right in the middle of a town, not from coronavirus but from a fast driver, and then it'll all come back into focus again. For the moment, let me say that I'm appalled at the irresponsibility of some drivers. And if you're crossing the road and you don't see them coming for a good half mile, and then they zip around a corner going full tilt, and you sort of look at them and they look back as if to say, well, get out of the way, you stupid person. Well, there's something that we've got to worry about a bit here, I think, because we really do need to make sure that our roads stay safe. We did before lockdown, and we've got to after lockdown. And the fact that you've got used to the fact that you're on the open road, towed, whoop whoop, whoop whoop, it's something that you're just going to have to rein in, I'm afraid, chaps. And don't look at pedestrians as if they're the mad group. And the main pedestrians probably are a mad group, and we do silly things, but so do drivers. And one way or another, we've got to reach an accommodation. And just stopping people and locking them up isn't one of them. I continue to have my go at authority, at those in charge. With the computer, they keep on telling us how wonderful it is. Well, if you have to pay money, the computer, well, that's in the private sector, the computer very much stays up to date with you. You get a reminder 1,000 times if you're late with a payment of some sort. And if within 24 hours you haven't listened to the computer and paid it with their reminder, you get a threatening letter. It's all pretty naughty, really. But the fact is that the public sector doesn't seem to have caught up. I mean, first of all, I've talked about the hub, the NHS multi-million-pound computer system, which manages to invite you to your appointment 24 hours after the fact. But also, I got a thing in yesterday saying you haven't paid your television license, and we're going to haul you into court, and we're going to do all sorts of hang, draw, and quarter you, drag you through the streets behind a horse, and all sorts of evil things. And yet the computer should be able to tell them that I'm 80, and I therefore, at least for the moment, don't have to pay for a television license. Don't need one. Well, actually, I've got one. I don't have to pay for it. Nobody has bothered to tell the computer, so the computer just goes on its merry way. Another complete and utter weakness in relying upon computers in the way that we do. Okay, I'm not that much of a Luddite. Of course, computers are terribly important, and they do give us great support, and they make it easier for us to do all sorts of things. And it certainly does on the... this is my good friend Joel Duku, who used to live in Damaturu, but I see from his profile he's now in Lagos, and I sent him birthday wishes this morning. And Joel and I go back to about 8 or 10 years to Africa when I was doing some training there. And Joel was a young reporter, and we laugh at one of the reports he did, which in the Nigerian Sun gave the headline, international journalist trainer says Nigerian journalists are lazy. This is not what I said at all, and not what actually Joel reported, but some sub somewhere back at headquarters have decided that's what the headline should say. So anyway, I'm glad to know that Joel is enjoying his birthday, and he got my birthday wishes. Now I've totally forgotten where I was, and why shouldn't I? Because this is a silly, lazy day, and we're going up to 51 minutes. So I'm going to now play another of my favourites, because this comes out of Newhaven in East Sussex. Still a port of some importance, but at one time the most important port on the south coast, with a terrific history. I have to say, and I think most people would say, that Newhaven has been neglected. It is not the prettiest town, it's not a town for tourists, but it is a town that's full, absolutely full of history. And it was one of the key centres that would have tried to fend off a German invasion if that had come. As it was, it saw 2 or 3 key moments in the Second World War. It was a port from which the flotilla of little ships set out to try and rescue the British Expeditionary Force, which had been soundly defeated in Europe, and bring it back so that at least we had got some semblance of an army to start to put back together again. It was the port from where the Canadian invasion of Dieppe took place, the Dieppe raid. Again, complete and utter disaster. And it was also a port which sent out soldiers, sailors, airmen to the D-Day landings. So it has quite a history, and it's a pity that it's been let go. But friends who live there, they enjoy it, and why not? And they are the family, Shorthouse, Clive and Mary, have given life to 3 lovely daughters, all of whom have talents in a different way. And what we're going to do is we're going to listen to Claire, who with husband John, they write their own stuff, and they're a duo, and they're up and coming. If you haven't caught them in one of the various venues around the south of England, you should. And the other thing that you should do is watch out for them on various, whether you're in America, whether you're here, whether you're anywhere, listen for them, because they pop up on various media. And they are good. Take a listen.
You And he said, sing, canary, sing. If you're good, then I might let you in to the passion that burns in my heart. That's just the start, but I won't give you anything. Sing, canary, sing. If you're good, then I might let you in to the passion that burns deep within. Then I'll begin to strip you of everything. He said, sing, canary, sing. If you're good, then I might let you in to the passion that burns in my heart. That's just the start, but I won't give you anything.
Dandelion Charm, out of New Haven, East Sussex. Terrific duo. Well, I had thought that we might just go 30 minutes this morning, and now we've gone 57, coming on to 58. And it's 8:38 in Lewis, in the United Kingdom. I don't know what time it is where you are. I don't know what time it is, a time of day it will be when you actually listen to this, or even a bit of it, or see it, or spurn it, or whatever, or say, who's this complete and utter mad 80-year-old eccentric with Parkinson's rabbiting on about all sorts of things where a Luddite. Well, it's not a bad thing to put things into context, young people. That's one of the things that takes a civilization forward, understanding where you came from. It's a prime business principle. Know where you want to go, know where you're at, and know when you expect to arrive at your destination. Principle of life too. 58, 55, 56, there we go. It's just a couple of minutes for us to get cracking. To pack up our bags and I think go down to the park this morning and work out just a few little problems that we're having. Only a few little problems. Most of them are technical, because I'm so untechnical that it's hard to believe. But let's now play ourselves out, shall we, with those wonderful people from Ben Sound and Ben Sound Buddy. And thank you to Ben Sound for letting us use some of their fantastic music for free on this and on Mirador Television. MiradorTelevision.com. Don't forget to go and check it out. It's good value. Toodles, toodle pip.